Hello and welcome to a channel update. I felt it was about time to do one because we've got a lot of different content that's changed on the channel, a lot of different new series starting, and I felt it was a good time to just kind of go through some thoughts I was having and, kind of just formulate them and let you know what they are. So, first things first, let's have a look at what's actually on the channel right now. So, the Undertale slot is empty. That was what was there. It's going to stay empty. I quite like having the number of series that we have now, so like having Ironborn, Ratman, Alpha Protocol, like that number of series. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would call it 4 main series and then 2 things that don't really happen a lot of the time on the week, if you know what I'm meaning. Like Pathfinder takes up a lot of the week, but like in terms of videos, like there's a lot of videos going out, but it's also a lower quality video, so it's quicker to upload and it's not taking any time out of other recordings, so I don't really count it in the proper list. Anyway, so we're going to leave that one blank, although Blackfire should be up there in that slot, and the time should be mixed up. But anyway, times are not correct on this sheet. Right, we have the Ironborn series, going to continue. We've got Custom Courtier start again this week. It seems to still be going alright. I'm going to look at viewership a little bit more, I think, in the future. I'm trying to look a little bit more at what I want the channel to carry on doing in the future. Maybe have a few more series starting. I think the Ironborn series is still going well. It's getting a lot of viewership. Well, it's getting a reasonable amount of viewership given how long it's gone on. I think we're going to cap it at 100 episodes. I think that seems fair. Just because I feel like a series that goes over 100 is probably going to be too long. I think the interest will have died out by then. And then we would start another probably custom house series, or maybe do a short series in a different mod. I don't know. I really like the Game of Thrones mod though, so we'll do that. I think, what episode are we on? We're like on 68. Oh, let me very quickly open over here on a different screen. I will check what episode we're on while I talk about the Ratman. Ratman series, I've not been consistent on. It's a series that I want to be consistent on, but for some reason or another, it always gets, left behind. I'm going to try and be more consistent on it. Going to try and make it go out more. It actually has even better viewerships than the Ironborn series, but I also am not very consistent on it. So, does it have better viewership because it is only out like once or twice a week, or does it have better viewership because it has more viewers? I need to get both of the series consistent at the same time, then I can see what's happening. Of course, then the series might be cannibalizing from each other in terms of viewership. There's many different layers. Anyway, yeah, gonna make Ratman series more consistent. So what episode are we at on the Ironborn series? We're on episode 65, so a little bit over halfway. I think that's fair. 100 episodes. What would that be? Another 7 weeks max? That seems like a month and a half. That's good. That seems like a good length for our series, and I think we're gonna stop it there. I think if I was to do another one, I might cap it at maybe 50. I don't know. I feel like the series are getting too long. I think that for a channel that is my size, I noticed that I get a huge subscriber increase whenever I start a new series. It just kind of makes sense. So I think that having series that last too long may be stunting the growth of the channel a little bit. It's just kind of a theory I'm having. I want to test it out. I want to try out maybe a quicker turnaround on series. Maybe if someone's not interested in one, we're getting more things, so like you don't have to wait as long. It's like, say you weren't interested in the Ironborn series. It's been going on for so long now that you would have left the channel if you weren't interested in anything else other than that. I think that's a problem that I want to try and fix. I want to try and make it so that there's always some content, like there's always going to be content soon that you were interested in. I think that's a good idea. I think that's what we're going to try and hit. Okay, what else do we have? So the Ratman series, more consistency. Alpha Protocol, it's interesting. The series started off with very low viewership for a basic series, but the viewership has not dropped off as much as other series, if you know what I mean. So it's low starting interest, but the people who had the starting interest are sticking with it. So that's interesting. I think I'm going to keep it going. I was considering at one point cancelling it because it was a little bit buggy and that it didn't have great viewership. So I was like, people don't want to watch it, it's buggy. But we'll keep it going. I think that there's enough interest that I want to keep that slot going. I also want to keep a slot where we're doing RPGs kind of as consistent. I want to keep just one different thing on the list of things that we're doing. I know we have Divinity and Pathfinder, but I want to be one thing that I can control without having to rely on other people to make the content. I think that's a better way of doing it. And I think there is an audience on the channel who are watching it. What I'd be interested to know is if you're only watching one of my... Like, if you're only watching Alpha Protocol, or like you're only watching Jade Empire, I want to hear, like, just shout out in the comments that was what you were doing. Because I want to hear it. I want to know that if there is anyone who's only doing it, or whether there's a what I want to know is whether it's its own section of people, or whether it's a subsection of the people who are watching the Crusader King stuff, the Hearts of Iron stuff. I want to know what... I want to try and work out how the viewer base is interconnected. So I think that's an interesting idea to try and get done. So basically, shout out if you're watching one of the odd series. Like, same with Divinity and Pathfinder. If you're only watching that, or if you're watching that and something else, I want to know kind of what kind of content I could put out to keep someone like you still interested in the channel. So, say you're interested in Pathfinder and you're also interested in the Ironborn series. If, say, I was to stop Pathfinder for a week or two, the Ironborn series is still going. If I was to stop the Ironborn series, you're still watching Pathfinder. Say that you're also watching the Blackfire series, I could then stop the Ironborn series for a couple of weeks, have Blackfire and Pathfinder on, then start a new series in a similar vein to Ironborn, and then you would still be interested in that. And I'm trying to work out what series I want going on. I also think that when I was starting series, I'm just trying to go through all the thoughts of things that I think that we had problems with in the past. I started the Ratman series, the Ironborn series, and I think another series at the same time as that, and I think that's an idea that I should not do that in the future. What would be better is if I start series kind of staggered. So Blackfire series started on its own, don't end it at the same time as another series, don't start another series at the same time as it's starting. That way there's like new stuff happening over a more consistent period of time, rather than there being like, here's a whole bunch of new stuff, this is going to be what's on for, say, the next 3 months on the channel. If you're not interested in it, just tune out. Like, there's just new stuff happening all the time. I think that's a better way of doing it, and I think that's what we're going to try and aim for in the future. Divinity, let's talk about that next. It's doing well. It's a very, very long series, and there are some people I've noticed who have watched all of it, or pretty much all of it, so it's alright. We're almost finished that. I think that the plan after Divinity, I think we're almost finished it, because we're like level 16, level 15, 16 kind of area. The game, I've heard, kind of caps your experience at 20. Like, you can get to level 21, level 22, but it takes a ton more experience. It's kind of like similar to Skyrim, how if you could level up on that, your level, there was no level cap, but your level effectively got capped due to there being too much experience to get to the next level. So yeah, Divinity's going alright. The plan after that is to maybe do Divinity 2 when it comes out, because, full disclosure, I backed the game, and because I really like Divinity, backed Divinity 2, and I am getting a second copy of it, so we will probably do that on launch, whenever that is. I think it's meant to be this year, but it might be next year. And then there might be another game in between that if we find something we want to play, or we might not do anything. We might just leave that slot free and leave it until we got a different thing happening. We'll see. Blackfire series, it's gone very well. It wasn't a huge jump of viewership at the start. I want to talk a lot about viewership because I want to talk about that's my main way of working out what people are interested in. There wasn't a ton of viewership for it compared to some other series that I've started. It's more than most videos get, but first episode of the series usually gets more than most videos get. It's done well, but what's really encouraging is the ton of likes on the video and the ton of comments on the series. Like, that's a way of telling me, like, say first video of Alpha Protocol, it got 150-ish likes, not likes, 150-ish views, and 3 likes, I think. If I might have a little bit more by now, but that's what it had at one point. The Blackfire series has about 1,200 views, but 89 or 90 likes, which ratio-wise, I'm sure you can work out, is a ton more. Like, that's just significantly more than other series. So it tells, and the number of comments I got on it, because Alpha Protocol got 0, and Blackfire got, like, I think it was 40, maybe? No, yeah, 40 across all the videos from the first week. That's a really large number of comments, and that shows that people are more engaged with the content to me. And it shows that that's more what the people who are more invested in the channel are more interested in talking about. Like, that's what the people are interested in watching, because that's what you're talking about. And I think that's a sign that I should do more CK2 stuff. The Hearts of Iron stuff brought in a lot of new viewers, and it was fun, but I think the main base of the channel wants to watch CK2, which is fair. I do a lot more CK2 than anything else, and although I'm trying to add some variety, it's not really the main focus right now. Now, I'll talk about that later. Pathfinder is the last thing we need to talk about in terms of series that are continuing on right now. Pathfinder is going to be more consistent in the future. We've had a couple of off weeks from it. It's just people have not been there on a Saturday, which when we've been streaming. Come by and watch the streams, by the way. They're really good. Well, they're not fantastic, but the fact that we can actually talk to chat, we can discuss things, we can explain your questions straight away. It's very, it's a fun experience, and some people who have dropped by have enjoyed it, I think, judging by what they've been saying in the chat. I don't know, they stuck around for hours on end, so I assume they enjoyed it. Anyway, we're going to have a potential second day of that on a Wednesday. So say that we don't make it on a Saturday, the Wednesday after we would do it, then we're going to try and make that our kind of thing. So it'll be a backup day, basically. It's if we don't make it on one, we'll do it on the other, and that way there's more content coming out on the channel for the VODs. Like, the VODs for Pathfinder do very well, which makes me think that perhaps people just aren't able to make the stream time, which is fair. It's 4 hours of stream. I've said that's fair quite a lot. I should stop doing that. Anyway, other things on the channel that are not here. There is the, let me think. Hearts of Iron. That's the main one to talk about. Hearts of Iron is a fun game which is very buggy right now. That's, I think, how I'm going to describe it. In a couple of patches, we might go back to Hearts of Iron, or in a patch that fixes AI. Right now, if you watch the end of the Hungry series, you'll know that the AI is a bit bad. It's just awful. Like, I have no idea what happened. Other people haven't had this issue either. I think the problem with Hearts of Iron is it's inconsistent right now. And we're going to wait to a couple of patches, maybe play it in a better state, and we have a slot free in the schedule. We'll put it in there. Right. We also have Stellaris, and that's in a similar situation. It's a bit buggy. Paradox is kind of with that. The new Crusader Kings 2 DLC, which is coming out at some point. I actually don't know the date, but they did do an announcement video for it. It's called The Reaper's Due. Adds in a lot of disease stuff. We will play that when it becomes part of a mod, I think. And that means that basically we'll play it when a series ends. So what I think might be a good idea, if I have the money for it, which I don't know if I'm going to have the money for the DLC on release. So I think it's going to be in August. We'll probably play the Blackfire series, end that, then start another series on the new DLC, because I think that'll probably be around the right time frame if it's coming out when I think it's coming out. Judging by Paradox, they usually announce the DLC and it comes out a couple of weeks later. So that seems about right. So we'll end the Blackfire, start the new DLC one, because the Game of Thrones mod one then takes like another week or two afterwards anyway. And then that'll be fun. I'm interested to see what they do with it as well, because they've got a lot of... I'm not sure what the disease things are going to add to Game of Thrones. Maybe some more stuff with grayscale. That could be something. Maybe some of the summer sickness stuff. So maybe playing around the time that that's meant to be happening. That might be some cool stuff to do. Kind of try and survive in a situation where lots of people are dying in the realm. That could be a fun little scenario to play. But we have to wait and see what the mods does and what the DLC does, because we don't really know yet. We just know what the dev diaries tell us. Other things for the channel. Now, a lot of people newer to the channel might not know this, but we did a lot of Telltale games at one point. Like, I played through all of the Game of Thrones one, all of the, what was it, Tales of the Borderlands, and a little bit of the Minecraft one, which was alright, but I didn't really have much interest in the source material for that one. But they have some new stuff coming out. They have the Batman one coming out soon, and they have the, what's the other one? They have The Walking Dead Season 3 is coming out at some point as well. So we may go back to those, and I think we'll do them in a similar way to the way that we did Undertale. Just 1 week, in and done. Just, because I think you can get one done in 5 episodes very easily. And we would probably do that like in this slot, which isn't quite this slot. Time would probably be a little bit different. But, you know, in here, we would put it. Like Monday to Friday. I think that seems about right. Just throw it in, finish it, leave it, move on. And I think that works a little bit better. Also, for series starting, I've kind of changed how I do those. I used to do it where I would start the series and then I would stop it in, like, I would just start the series whenever we were going to start. So say I'd start say I was starting the Ironborn series and we started it on a Friday. I used to do it where I would just go Friday, Saturday. Nope, it's not on a Sunday, not on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You may be able to see that that's just not a good idea. So what I would do now, if I was to say start on a Friday, would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then have the break. Just because I think that's a little bit more sensible to have the, you know, to have a full week of content, and I think that's just a better way of doing it. I'm just trying to go through some of my new philosophies in how I'm trying to make the channel a little bit better. Because I feel like the channel itself is alright, I feel the content is alright, but I feel that the channel in terms of how videos are released is a little bit of the problem right now. Anything else? I had one other thing, a couple other things I want to talk about. Yes, on a completely different note. In the comments, I've noticed on the Stellaris video a while back, the one for installing a Stellaris mod, people were talking about how to torrent Stellaris. Don't do that. Don't do that in my comments. Don't do that at all. It's not something that I'm going to endorse. If you do torrent the game, don't tell me. You know, I have a strong opinion on it, and I just want to throw that out there that it's not something I want to be advertised on my channel. I don't feel like stealing from Paradox is the best way to be on a channel where it's about Paradox. If you know what I'm saying. It's like, it seems a little bit odd for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm fine with you talking about how to steal money from the people whose games support my channel in any way. Like, I feel that would be a little bit weird, and I really don't want that to happen. So, don't do it. And, yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. It's been a very long video, hasn't it? 19 minutes for an update. Yeah, that's pretty long. I hope you enjoyed this ramble, and, yes. Just a quick reminder, because I said I was going to do this at the end of update videos. If you want to donate to the continued running of the channel, you can do that. There is a link on the channel page, and there's a link underneath each video. And that's, again, all I'm going to say on the matter. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.